think the problem that I continue to have with doing reviews is I try to sound real smart, you know, like real smart, and then I end up sounding real stupid. Tell what the book is about, Alan. Say if you like the book, Alan. What did you like about the book, Alan? What didn't you like about the book? Real simple. Why is it so difficult? Why? What's up, you guys? I am back, and I have a review for you today of The Orphan Mother by Robert Hicks. This book I requested from the publisher, which is Grand Central Publishing. This book came out September 13th, but you guys know, flood, couldn't film, all that good stuff. It came with a nice little press release. It gives me like a synopsis, stuff about the authors. It even has some author tour dates, all that good stuff. Let's get into the review. So the Orphan Mother follows a character from his previous novel called The Widow of the South. This follows Mariah, who is the recently freed slave of the Widow of the South. This is directly following the end of the Civil War and the end of slavery. Sort of. If you've watched 13th, you know what I mean. It follows Mariah, and Mariah has a son, and her son gets murdered. And she's trying to figure out what happened to her son. She's decided that she does not want to sweep this under the rug. She's decided that there is power in knowing. She has decided that she wants to know exactly what it is that happened to her son, and she finds out. So I gave you guys a pretty vague synopsis, but that's kind of how I like to go into reading my books. So I give you guys what I want to receive when I see a review. I have to say, although I requested this book from the publisher, when I got the book and I saw that the author was white, I'm assuming that he's white, guys. He looks white, but you never really know nowadays what people are. So I'm just going off the assumption that he's white. When you have white authors that write black characters, especially black main characters, and then it's a man, a white male, writing about a black female, the voice tends to be off. They have a problem sounding authentic a lot of the times, which is probably why white authors are scared to write characters of color, but whatever. I'm thinking this guy grew up around some black folks because he did a damn good job, okay? Like, I did not question the voice or the authenticity of the main character or any of the other characters, not even one time. Another thing that impressed me so much about this book, Mr. Hicks, baby, you had some real shit to say about some real issues. There was this point in the book, I can't remember who was talking to who, but they were talking about the main character, Mariah, about how Mariah still has a slave mentality. She's free, but she doesn't know how to be free. One of the reasons for that was she had a slave master that was good to her. And Mr. Hicks brought up a very valid point of how the good slave masters were the worst. When people are treated well, they get complacent. And when they're treated well, they're able to see that they're treated well and say, well, you know, I'm not getting beat like those other ones, so I'm not gonna try to ruin a good thing. So they get that real slave mentality, makes them not want to fight because there's really nothing to fight. Whereas on the plantations where they're constantly in fear for their lives, families are being ripped apart, all of this yada yada yada, all the bad shit that you see being depicted on television or whatever, it gave us something to fight against, and so we were constantly fighting. And I think, not to get too deep or too political, I know a lot of people of color are disappointed about the new president, but the government that we had before were like the good slave masters, made us complacent, made us feel like we didn't have anything to fight for because we felt like we had it good. But now we have a new slave master, and now it's not so good. And now we have something to fight for and against and with each other. I don't know why after all these years people haven't realized when you bite us, we bite back harder. But we're gonna remind you, I literally didn't have any problems with this book. I ended up giving it, I think, 3.5 stars. But you guys know I'm kind of critical of books. You know that. So 3.5 stars for me is awesome. Everything went right. I only gave it 3.5 stars because the goings-ons of everything in the book wasn't anything like super original. It was a story that I've heard before. He did tell it nicely, but it wasn't anything like, oh my god. I definitely recommend this book. If you see it, snatch it up. You will enjoy it, and for somebody who hasn't read many post-Civil War stories, especially from the Black point of view or a freed slave point of view, then you probably would like this book. You probably would give it more stars than I did, but I just have to keep saying that I was like I was highly impressed, like how authentic this sounded, and I'm really impressed. Like, good job, Hicks. Good job. That was so corny. That is all that I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below in my belly, and I'll talk to you guys later.